Welcome back to the third and the final session of creative writing, and we stopped last time here upon chapter 5, measuring success and growth. Assessing creative writing poses unique challenges compared to disciplines with clear right and wrong answers. How do you objectively evaluate artistic work that involves subjective aesthetic judgments? Creative writing programs typically employ multiple assessment methods that together provide comprehensive pictures of student learning and growth. These assessments measure not just technical proficiency, but also critical thinking, creative development, and professional preparation. Senior thesis or capstone projects represents culminating experiences where students synthesize years of learning into substantial creative accomplishments. These projects typically include two components: significant original creative work and a critical reflection on that work. The creative component might be a poetry collection, short story portfolio, creative non-fiction manuscript, novel excerpt, or full-length play substantial enough to demonstrate sustained creative effort and artistic vision. Quality expectations rise throughout the program with advanced work showing technical, sophisticated craft, um, choices, originality, and extensive revision. Critical prefaces or artist statements accompanying creative work serve multiple assessments purposes. They demonstrate students' ability to analyze their own creative process, articulate aesthetic principles, situate their work within literary traditions, and think critically about craft writing. These analytical essays requires stepping back from immersion in creative work to examine it objectively, identifying influences, explaining technical choices, acknowledging limitations, and discussing revision strategies. This meta-cognitive reflects, deepens understanding, and demonstrates intellectual engagement with creative writing beyond initiative production. Oral defenses provide opportunities for direct dialogue between students and the faculty about creative and critical work. During these presentations, students discuss their projects, explain craft decisions, respond to questions about influences and revision, and demonstrate their ability to engage in sophisticated literary conversions. Oral defenses assess communication skills, critical thinker under pressure, depth of understanding, and professional presentation ability. They also celebrate students' achievements, providing formal recognition of completed projects and translation points in educational journeys. Tracking graduate outcomes provides long-term assessment of program effectiveness and student preparation. Programs monitor graduates' publication records, career path, graduate school attendance, and the professional accomplishment. Strong outcomes, including students publishing in respected journals and presses, receiving fellowships and awards, teaching creative writing, working in professional writers or editors, and continuing education in MFA or PhD programs. These metrics demonstrate that programs successfully prepare students not just for immediate creative writing success, but for sustained engagement with literary communities and writing related careers through their lives. Learning target for students. Learning targets translate broad outcomes into specific achievable goals that guide instructions and help students track progress. Unlike that comprehensive learning outcomes discussed earlier, which describe overall program goals, learning targets, break those larger outcomes into discrete steps a student can work toward incrementally. These targets provide clarity about expectations at different points in the curriculum and help students recognize growth as they achieve successive benchmarks. Generating creative ideas represents a fundamental skill that students develop throughout their creative writing education. Beginning, a student might struggle to produce ideas beyond their immediate experiences. While advanced students draw on diverse sources, observation of the world, personal memories transformed through imagination, research into unfamiliar topics, engagement with other texts, and pure invention. Learning targets at different levels might specify quantities, produce five-story ideas, or qualities, generate ideas spanning different genres and approaches that demonstrate increasing ideation sophistication. Composing and revising drafts involves both getting words on page initially and improving them through multiple revision cycles. Early learning targets might focus simply on completing drafts without excessive self-editing during initial composition. Immediate targets could specify producing second or third drafts that show substantive changes rather than just surface corrections. Advanced targets might require demonstrating targeted revisions addressing specific weaknesses identified through self-assessment or peer feedback. Throughout, the emphasis is on revision as central to writing rather than optional polishing. A black genre um, conventions require understanding what makes a particular genres distinctive and demonstrating that knowledge in original writing beginning targets might involve identifying conventions in mentor text list five characteristics of mystery fiction. Immediate targets could require incorporating those conventions appropriately. Write a mystery story that includes red herrings and progressive revelation. Advanced targets might involve sophisticated applications like genre blending or deliberate conventions subversion that shows deep understanding of norms being challenged. By articulating clear cleaning targets clear learning targets throughout curricula, programs help students understand exactly what's expected at each stage and recognize their progress as they achieve successive goals. This clarity reduces anxiety, increases motivation, and enables students to take ownership of their learning by actively working toward defined objectives. When students see themselves moving from basic idea generation to sophisticated creative development or from simple analysis to complex critical interpretation, they gain confidence and the momentum that propels continued growth throughout their creative writing education and beyond. Key competencies students will develop. Creative writing education develops competencies extending far beyond the ability to write publishable literature, while craft mastery remains central. Students simultaneously build transferable skills valuable across academic disciplines. and professional contexts. These competencies include cognitive abilities like creative thinking and critical analysis, technical skills like writing proficiency and research literature, and interpersonal capabilities like communication and collaboration. Together, they prepare students not just for creative writing careers, but for diverse professional paths where strong communication and critical thinking prove essential. Creative thinking and imagination represent perhaps the most distinctive competencies creating writing develops. Unlike many academic disciplines emphasizing convergent thinking toward single correct answers, creative writing cultivates divergent thinking, generating multiple possibilities. Students learn to brainstorm freely, make unexpected connections between disparate idea, approach problems from multiple angles, and embrace ambiguity and complexity. These creative thinking skills apply well beyond literary contexts. Innovation in any field requires imagination, flexibility, and willingness to explore unconventional solutions. Explores across industries value creative thinkers who bring fresh perspectives to challenges. Technical writing skills and grammar mastery provide foundations for all written communication. Creative writing students develop sophisticated command of language mechanics, learning not just rules but the purposes beyond or behind them and when to break them effectively. They gain sensitivity to connotation, rhythm, and style that elevates their writing above merely grammatically correct prose to genuinely engage effective communication. These technical skills benefit students in any career required clear writing from business communication to grant proposals to technical documentation, making creative writing graduates valuable employees even in non-literary fields. Research and information literacy enable students to locate reliable information, evaluate source credibility, synthesize multiple perspectives, and properly attribute others' ideas. While often associated with academic research papers, these skills prove crucial in creative writing when developing historically accurate fiction, fact-checking creative nonfiction, or understanding literary contexts beyond creative writing. Information literacy supports success in graduate education, professional research, and informed citizenship in an era of information overload and misinformation. Critical reading and literary analysis develop interpretive skills applicable to any complex text or cultural artifact. Learning to analyze literature teaches students to look beneath surfaces, identify patterns and techniques, understand how meaning is constructed, and evaluate quality and significance. These analytical abilities transfer to interpreting films, advertisements, political rhetoric, visual art, and other cultural texts in professional contexts. The close attention and interpretive sophistication developed through literary analysis supports effective analysis of business documents, legal texts, scientific papers, and other materials requiring careful reading and critical evaluation. Oral communication and presentation skills or round out the competencies creative writing develops through public readings, workshop discussions, and oral defenses. Students become comfortable presenting to audiences, thinking on their feet, articulating complex ideas clearly, and engaging in productive dialogue. These communication skills prove essential in virtually any career, from teaching to business to law to healthcare, where explaining ideas clearly and engaging audiences effectively determines professional success. Visual and practical learning aids. Visual and practical learning aids enhance creative writing education by providing concrete tools for abstract processes, while writing itself in primarily a linguistic activity. Many writers benefit from visual and kinesthetic approaches to planning, organizing, and revising their work. These aids accommodate diverse learning styles and offer alternatives to purely text-based composition methods. Mentor texts serve as crucial learning aids by providing exemplary models of effective literary techniques rather than learning craft principles abstractly. Students study how accomplished writers employ specific strategies in published works. A lesson on metaphor becomes more concrete when analyzing how particular poets create striking comparisons. Discussion of narrative pacing gains clarity when examining how successful novelists control time and information revelation. By reading widely across genres, time periods, and cultural traditions, students encounter diverse approaches to craft and discover possibilities they might not have imagined independently. Diverse representation in mentor texts ensure students see themselves reflected in literary traditions and understand that creative writing belongs to everyone, not just historically dominant groups. These practical tools and learning aids complement theoretical instruction by providing concrete, applicable methods students can use immediately rather than simply talking about writing. Students actively engage with tools and techniques that support their creative development. This experiment, experimental, hands-on approach recognizes that creative writing is learned through doing, not just studying, and that different students benefit from different organizational and creative methods. By offering variety in teaching approaches and learning aids, creative writing programs ensure all students can find methods that work for their individual creative processes. Challenges and opportunities in creative writing, balancing originality with literary tradition. Writers must understand and respect literary traditions while developing distinctive voices and contributing something new. This balance requires deep knowledge of what's been done before, combined with encourage to experiment and innovative. Students learn that true originality rarely means completely rejection of tradition, but rather fresh approaches that build on and respond to existing literary conversations. Navigating diverse genres and styles. The contemporary literary landscape offers unprecedented variety in genres, forms, and styles. This diversity creates opportunities for experimentation and across genre innovation, but can also overwhelm students and unsure where to focus their energy. Programs help students explore broadly while also developing depth in particular genres or approaches that resonate with their intersects and strengths. Embracing revision and feedback. Many beginning writers resist extensive revision, either believing first drafts should be perfect or feeling too attached to initial versions to change them significantly. Learning to embrace revision as the heart of creative writing, not punishment for initial failure, but opportunity for discovery and refinement, represents a crucial developmental milestone. Similarly, receiving criticism without defensiveness requires emotional maturity and professional perspectives. Preparing for publication and professional careers, the publishing industry has transformed dramatically in recent decades, with traditional gatekeepers losing exclusive control while new opportunities emerging through self-publishing and digital platforms. Students must understand both traditional and contemporary paths to publication, develop realistic expectations about the comparative literary marketplace, and consider diverse career possibilities beyond publishing novels or poetry collections. Creative writing education involves navigating various challenges while seizing opportunities for growth and development. Understanding these challenges helps students approach their education with realistic expectations and strategic thinking about how to maximize their learning and prepare for post-graduation success, simultaneously recognizing the abundant opportunities available to contemporary writers from diverse publishing venues to technological tools to interdisciplinary collaborations enable students to envision expansive creative futures. One significant challenge involves the competitive nature of literary publication and creative writing careers. Creating work published in prestigious journals remains difficult, with many publications receiving thousands and thousands of submissions for limited space. Book publication proves even more competitive, with major publishers accepting tiny percentages of submitting manuscripts. Creating writing careers rarely provides stable incomes, with many writers supporting themselves through teaching, freelancing, or non-writing works. Students need realistic understanding of these challenges, with becoming discouraged. Many successful writers face years of rejection before breaking through. Publications and the multiple career paths can incorporate creative writing meaningfully, even if not exclusively. However, opportunities for writers have also expanded dramatically. The internet enables writers to reach global audiences directly through blogs, social media, and self-publishing platforms. Literary journals have proliferated with hundreds of venues seeking diverse voices and styles. MFA programs and writing retreats provide community and intensive development opportunities. Interdisciplinary collaboration brings writers together with artists, scientists, activists, and others to create innovative projects. Understanding both challenges and opportunities helps students develop strategic, resilient approaches to creative writing careers, pursuing their passions while remaining adaptable and open to various paths forward. Summary: what students gain from creative writing study. Creative writing education offers students transformative learning experiences that extend far beyond the specific poems, stories, or essays they produce. While developing as writers remains central, students simultaneously build transferable skills, critical thinking abilities, and the professional competency that prepare them for diverse careers and lifelong intellectual engagement. This comprehensive learning outcomes and objectives discussed throughout this guide work together to create well-rounded graduate capable of meaningful participation in literary culture and effective communication across professional contexts. The ability to craft a compelling audience where writing presents perhaps the most immediately recognizable benefit of creative writing study. Graduates produce sophisticated literature demonstrating technical mastery, artistic vision, and awareness of reader needs. They understand how to research effectively, develop original ideas, organize complex material, reverse or revise extensively, and polish final drafts to professional standards. These writing abilities prove valuable in countless careers, teaching, journalism, publishing, marketing, public relations, grant writing, technical communication, and any field requiring clear, engaging writing expression. A deep understanding of literary forms and traditions provides cultural literacy and historical perspective that enrich students' reading experiences and creative work. By studying diverse writers across time periods, cultures, and genres, students gain appreciation for literature's role in human experience and society. They understand how literary movements emerged, how temporary writers build on or challenge traditions, and how their own work fits into ongoing literary conversations. This knowledge transforms students from casual readers into informed literary citizens capable of engaging meaningfully with cultural texts and contributing to literary discourse. Skills in analyzing, critiquing, um, and improving creative work demonstrates sophisticated critical thinking applicable beyond the literary contexts, learning to evaluate writing quality, provide constructive feedback, and reflect thoughtfully on one's own creative processes, develops the meta-cognitive awareness and analytical rigor. These abilities support success in graduate education, professional careers requiring critical evaluation and problem solving, and in informed citizenship in complex democratic societies where evaluating arguments and evidence matters tremendously. Confidence in presenting and publishing original writing prepares students for professional engagement with literary communities and public audiences. Through public readings, workshop presentations, and submission to journals and contests, it's in develop professional presence and learn to handle both acceptance and rejection gracefully. They understand the publishing landscape now, uh, know how to research appropriate venues, and can navigate submission processes effectively. This professional preparation, combined with strong craft skills and critical thinking, positions graduates for success, whether they pursue creative writing careers exclusively or incorporate writing into broader professional lives. Ultimately, creative writing education prepares students for diverse careers in writing and communication while developing transferable skills valuable across professions. Graduates work as teachers, editors, publishers, journalists, marketing professionals, grant writers, technical writers, and the countless other roles, whether strong communication matters. Many combine creative writing with other careers, writing novels while teaching high school or practicing law. The versatility of creative writing skills ensures graduates can adapt to changing professional landscapes while continuing to engage meaningfully with literature and creative expression throughout their lives. Conclusion, embarking on your creative writing journey, creative writing represents far more than an academic subject or professional skill. It embodies a lifelong craft and a mode of engaging deeply with human experiences as you embark on or continue your creative writing journey. Recognize that you're joining a rich tradition stretching back millennia while also participating in contemporary innovations that continue reshaping what literature can be and do. This journey involves constant exploration, reflection, growth, and the courage to share your unique voice and vision with the world. The learning objectives and outcomes detailed throughout this guide provide a roadmap for your development as a writer and critical thinker. From mastering fundamental craft skills to develop sophisticated analytical abilities, from understanding literary traditions to experimenting with innovative forms, from writing privately for yourself to publishing publicly for diverse audiences. Each stage of this journey builds on previous learning while opening new possibilities for expression and understanding. Remember that growth isn't always linear. Writers often cycle through phases of confidence and doubt, productivity and struggle, traditional approaches and experimental departure. This recursive process characterizes creative development, and embracing it rather than resisting it enables sustained growth. Experimentation should remain central to your creative practice while mastering conventions and understanding traditions. Masters tremendously. Literature advances through writers willing to take risks, try new approaches, and occasionally fails spectacularly. Some of your most interesting work may emerge from experiments that do not succeed as originally planned but reveal unexpected possibilities. Give yourself permission to write badly sometimes, to explore directions that might not work out, to imitate writers you admire as you discover your own voice. The workshop environment provides a relatively safe space for these experiments. Take advantage of it by pushing beyond comfortable territories and attempting writing that challenges your current abilities. Reflection deepens creative practice by helping you understanding your process, recognize patterns in your work, and make conscious choices about future directions. Keep a writer's notebook or journal where you reflect on what you're reading, ideas for projects, observations about the world, and throughout and the thoughts about your creative development. After completing significant projects, write brief reflections considering the what worked well, what proved challenging, what you learned, and what you'd approach differently next time. This metacognitive awareness accelerates growth by making implicit knowledge explicit and helping you learn from every writing experience, successful or not. Engaging with literary communities and audiences transforms writing from a private solitary activity into a public communal one. Attend readings by visiting writers, participate actively in workshops, submit work to journals and contests, share writing with friends and family who will read honestly and supportively. Building relationships with other writers provides not just professional networking but genuine community, people who understand the joys and challenges of creative work, who can offer encouragement during difficult periods, who celebrate your success authentically. These connections often prove as valuable as craft skills themselves, sustaining creative practice through the inevitable ups and downs of writing life. Finally, embrace the power of storytelling and expression, the profound human impulse to make sense of experience through narrative, to capture beauty and pain in language, to connect or to connect with others across differences of time, place, and circumstances. Whether you write to to process personal experiences, to imagine alternative narratives, to preserve voices and stories that might otherwise be lost, to entertain, to persuade, to bear witness, or simply for the joy of language itself. Your writing matters. The world needs diverse voices, fresh perspectives, and the empathy that literature uniquely cultivates. Your creative writing journey contributes to this ongoing human conversation, adding your distinctive voices to the chorus of stories that help us understand ourselves, each other, and the complex world we share. As you move forward, remember that creative writing is simultaneously a craft you can study and master, and an art that defies completely systematization. Balance discipline with inspiration, practice with play, learning from others with discovering your own path. Trust the process even when it feels frustrating or uncertain. Celebrate small victories, completing a difficult poem, receiving positive feedback from a peer, making a breakthrough in revision while maintaining perspective on the long developmental arc of becoming a writer. Most importantly, keep writing. Consistency and persistence matter more. Sporadic process of inspiration or talent show up for your writing regularly, whether you feel inspired or not, and the words will come. Your creative writing journey has begun. Embrace it with courage, curiosity, and commitment to the transformative power of language and story. Thank you so much for watching me teaching you creative writing for 3 sessions. Until next time, ta for now.